What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Edge Without Filters podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Thompson, and I'm drinking my last Moscow Mule tonight. Had a little bit of vodka left, so I threw it in, and it's still tasty.
I'm Joseph DeGranchamp, and I'm once again drinking Hop Avenger IPA by New Belgium Brewery.
I'm Gabe, and I'm making the rounds on the shitty beer. Right now I've got the Old Milwaukee Tall Boy.
Hell yeah.
It was on sale, so.
Old Mud!
Old mud, dude. Can't get
Old
much better.
Milwalkers.
Yeah, I'll probably bring them for Christmas break. I think I'm going to bring them home.
Have we talked
Hell
about
yeah.
them on the podcast yet?
I don't think so.
I
I
don't
think
think
we
we
have.
Have we?
I
We
don't
can
know.
post a
most
picture of
definitely
them
have.
on the Instagram this week. Dayton has some sexy Old Milwaukee shorts.
Yeah.
I don't know what decade they're from, but it's not.
Oh,
this
dude,
one.
they're from like the 80s. easily. They're from the
Yeah,
80s.
easily the 80s.
But
a cup holder and
it's
everything.
based off
Fantastic.
the Old Milwaukee beer. It says Old Milwalkers, and then it has a cup holder thing on the side, doesn't it? On your
Oh,
hip?
don't forget about the back pocket.
Oh,
though.
what does the back pocket say? I forget.
It doesn't get any better than this.
That's
It's plastered right on my ass. I love those things.
The more you know.
What are you drinking tonight, Dayton?
And I'm Dayton, and I am drinking a PBR, which I got for free
Yeah.
because I helped a friend build a computer, and he paid me in beer, which is always
Wow.
welcome.
The preferred
Can't complain
form
about
of payment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get it turn on.
Mm-hmm.
It's called
No issues.
posting.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Well, welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 49. Don't forget you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at EWF Podcast. You can find new episodes of our show every Monday on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube around 8:30 Eastern-ish. Yeah, let's get into it. I guess first thing, I gotta just roast Gabe publicly here because he
Oh
couldn't
my
wait
God.
to record
It's
the fucking
not
podcast
my fault.
because he decided to order Jimmy John's, and it was late, and we had to wait for it.
Okay, so
Gabe,
I
you
gotta
need to
defend
take
myself.
responsibility.
It was-
You need to take
No,
responsibility.
I'm defending myself. It was, we were like, hey, let's record a little bit early. Normally we record at 8, so like let's do 7:15. I'm like, great. And my parents came up because I'm doing my whole graduation thing this weekend, and I didn't know if I was gonna get dinner with them or not. And I have no food in the fucking fridge at all, so I was like, all right, I'll just wait it out and see what the plan is. And then it just seemed like, okay, now I gotta go to dinner. So I'm like, it's 6:15. I'm like, I'm gonna order some Jimmy John's. That gives me an hour of time, right? That makes sense. But
Jimmy
no.
John's is freaky fast.
They're supposed to be
usually.
It's
freaky
supposed
fast.
to be.
Don't get me wrong, the roads right now are pretty shitty because we got a lot of snow. But if you, I had like 15 minutes for that, right? The weather's a little bad, add 15 minutes. But it took them an hour and 15 fucking minutes to get me my goddamn Sammy. And it's not my fault. You can take all your complaints to fucking Jimmy himself.
I said it before, I'll say it again. You could have just got in your car, drove over there, went to the drive-thru.
I was playing Rocket League with Dayton. It was
Out
important
and back in
bonding
10
time.
Bonding time.
God, I can't even hear the word bonding anymore for that last Rick and Morty episode.
I haven't watched
Oh
it
my
yet.
God.
It's
That's the one with the
It's something.
dragons, right?
yeah. I honestly don't think it's the weakest of the season so far. It mostly
Mm.
just relies on like gross out humor. That's not really as clever in my opinion, but
Yeah.
you'll see what I mean.
Well, anyways, not my fault. Blame Jimmy. And yeah, continue on.
So Gabe, I did want to ask you, how are you feeling that you're graduating in 2 days?
It's really weird. Like it hasn't hit me just yet. Like I have the gown in my closet, but it's not like hasn't hit. You know. I don't know about you guys. It just doesn't feel like it's there.
didn't-
I mean, we had the same thing. I mean, we
Yeah, I
both
mean,
kinda
it
said
didn't feel like I was graduating even when I was like walking up to the
The
podium or whatever
yeah.
you call it. Like,
Because today I had my last class. So ours is well, the fall one is weird in the fact that like we have our ceremony and then we have final exams the weekend after. So I'm not technically done after this weekend, but I'm done with like in class, and that was a pretty weird feeling. Like just walking through campus and like I don't need to be here anymore. That's really fucking weird. I'm
I'll
sure it'll
say-
hit me though when I'm at a job, you know.
mm-hmm.
No. It's
okay.
just now. It's just now setting in for me. Like the snow is what's getting it for me.
See, Joseph,
like-
I think for you guys, like having it be done in the summer, like your mind's probably like, oh, this is just an internship, it's temporary. But for me, I'll be starting in the winter, which is normally like winter carnival time.
Yeah.
So it'll be a lot different, I feel like. At least I
Yeah.
hope. I don't know.
It was until about snow fell that I was like, okay, this is not a temporary thing.
Right.
Like it's when it really it's been hitting recently is my point.
And how does that make
It's
you
been a
feel?
sad.
The
Oh,
big
damn
sad
it.
normal.
Don't tell me that.
Sad.
Joseph's been diving more and more into the Bumble and the Tinders lately. And
Woo!
it's been funny for me. It's been real
Less
funny
results.
for me, I gotta say.
Less results, more time, less results. That's my motto, baby.
You should be telling me it's a more fun time. I don't know.
I mean, the time off is more fun because it's like the weekends. I don't have to do shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's no like, oh, I gotta study for this exam or I gotta write this paper bullshit. I get home and it's like, fuck it. I'm just gonna watch TV for the night or I'm gonna go do this. Like, I have nothing that concerns me once I leave work other than
Except for like
traffic.
maybe chores, but that's not
Yeah,
really-
but it's
Yeah.
like cleaning our 2-bedroom apartment. Like,
Yeah.
how long does that take? You know,
Yeah.
it's not like
biggest
we have
annoyance is going to the
it's
store.
not like we have,
which isn't even
like,
that bad.
a sidewalk to shovel
Right.
or like,
A lawn.
Oh,
you
you didn't do that
mow
at school
or-
anyway.
huh?
You didn't shovel snow at school anyway.
Yeah, I did.
How many times, Joseph? You can count
That's
on
your
one
lying
hand.
voice, Joseph.
Yeah, but I still did it a couple times.
Yeah, lazy piece of shit.
Okay, I shoveled snow at my house growing up all the time.
So did
Does it
I.
count?
And I snow blowed.
Congrats, Joseph was a kid once.
My point being is I've done it. It's not like I'm not saying it's an excuse for. Oh my god! I'm not using it as an excuse for not shoveling at the house.
It's not like
Gabe,
he's
how many
going out
times
there
did
holding
you
the
shovel at the
shovel.
house?
Hey, don't worry. Joseph has the skill to shovel snow. He knows how to
That's not
do
it.
it.
He has
and
He's
two
just
hands.
lazy.
and he's adept. He's already adept at it, and he doesn't want to get into like the master class
My
of snow
point is,
shovelers.
it's one less thing that I have to do. Okay, than I have done.
You didn't have to do it
previously.
anyway.
But I,
All right, I'm gonna save Joseph because I'm gonna reel it back.
Gabe, how many times did you shovel
Gabe
snow?
shoveled less than Joseph. I'm saying that
Yeah,
right
so
now.
fuck off,
100%.
Dayton.
But it's funny that we're picking on you. All right, I'm gonna save you.
I
though.
helped. Remember that fucking blizzard we got last year?
Yeah,
When we
yeah.
shoveled at like 10 p.m. and it didn't make
That was
a
fucking
difference.
fun.
It was. I
That
helped
was
with
so
that.
fun.
So
You
I
did.
just want to throw that out there.
That was mostly
Um,
you, me, Dayton, and Josh. And
Yeah.
the rest of you guys were drunk, and then we went to
Josh
that big
was
snow
drunk.
mound.
I think it was
Josh
just-
was drunk. I thought
Because he
Dayton was
lost
a
his
little
keys
drunk,
that night.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely.
he
was.
lost his keys. Yeah, because we went quote unquote sledding down that pile of snow in the parking
By the
lot.
church?
Josh,
Oh
yeah,
dude,
we
that
were
was
jumping
fun.
off that ledge.
yeah, Josh lost his keys in there. He didn't realize until the next day. And like, dude, they're fucking gone. Like, there's no way you're finding those.
Yeah.
Maybe in the spring when everything melts.
Yeah. I will say I'm gonna go back to the whole like chore thing before we chat on Joseph. That's one thing I'm really looking forward to is like this week I've been doing shit. I mean I'll take a break here and there, but like till 12:30, 1 o'clock every day. Like I get up at 8 and
Yeah.
I'm have fucking responsibilities and homework until then, and just they're all boring classes too. So that does not help, and I'm just super fucking burnout. Like, focusing on school has been really, really difficult for me lately. So, I'm excited to do what Joseph said and just fucking, I don't know, if I want to just do nothing after work, I can. Or if I could go after work and go do something fun. Like, I could go fucking snowboard and not have to worry if I have enough time, you know?
Yeah, you don't have to be like, oh, I got to get back so I can, you know,
Right.
take care of this thing, right? Do this homework assignment or
Yeah.
read.
Because a
who
lot of the
reads out a
time, it's
book,
even
but,
like
you
this
know.
last couple of weeks, I haven't even had time to fucking cook because I'm just have all these fucking projects. The
what-
week
that
before
dude-
finals is always that busy though.
That's why you get Jimmy John's.
Yeah, and then you wait an hour and 15 minutes for them to give you your fucking sandwich.
Dude, Joseph and I went ice skating last weekend. That was kind of.
Oh, dude, I went ice skating for the first time last weekend too.
I know. I saw your Snapchat and I wanted to say
It was like the
something,
same.
but-
It was like the same day we went, Joseph.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
it was
sure,
like
yeah.
it was just after we got back that I saw your Snapchat.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
Dude, it was
Yeah.
embarrassing as shit. I got my skates put on, and I took my skate guard off, and I
Not
hop on the
guards?
ice. Nope, not guards. And I hop on the ice, and I go, and I take one stride with my foot that's good, and I'm like, oh, all right, I got this. And then I go to take a stride, and then I'm like, I didn't catch anything there. I'm gonna try it again, and then I just like fell down, and I look at my skates, and I'm just like, son of a bitch. I have never done that after skating for like how many years.
Was it an outside or an indoor place?
It was an indoor rink.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, I was just like, oh my gosh, I feel like such an idiot.
I would have paid so much money to see that. Like, so much money.
See, what was funny is like there was a guy that was like skating there too, and like he like skates up to me like after I like fall, and he's like, I forget what he said exactly, but I was just like, yeah, it's one of those kind of days, like, or something along those lines.
I promise I'm not that bad.
Yeah.
You should have told him, it's like, I'm an idiot. I should have had both my guards on. Or
Yeah. How could I have forgotten?
It guards you
I
from
was telling
falling.
Joseph when we were there, it was nice skating without Dayton or Cooper because there's no one our age who was showing us up, just, like, objectively. Me and Joseph are about the same skill level, so we're just cruising, watching little kids being dumb.
Almost trucking a couple kids over.
Yeah, dude, I almost got a couple kids.
There's this one girl who was like, I think she was like practicing figure skating. And she was still pretty young.
There's always
but
that
she
one
was
person.
skating. There were a lot of them.
There are a lot, actually.
But she was skating backwards the wrong direction.
Oh no.
And like, I was like, there's like a group of people, and I like kind of had to like kind of cut around them really quickly, and then she came up from the like on the other side of, or the same side, and so I had to like jump out of the way. I was like inches from just trucking this poor girl over.
Like, she was facing the same direction as everyone else, but she was moving in the opposite direction. And when you're skating, you don't really realize that right away because, again, she's facing the same way you are. So then you're like, oh shit, like she's right in front of me because you didn't realize she's moving backwards.
Yeah, it was.
That's dumb.
There was also one guy in a Blackhawks jersey trying to show off to this girl, and it was fucking hilarious.
It's probably like a first date or something.
No, like his friend was with her, and he was kind of like just skating around and like, oh, I'm so cool.
Dude, who wears NHL jerseys to open skate? That's fucking hilarious.
Okay, the funniest part.
Him and his friend did.
Yeah, him and his friend.
They both had jerseys on?
Yeah.
He hasn't like Oxford in a Wild.
No.
The one guy was wearing a Wild jersey, and I don't think he'd ever skated before.
Hey, you know what? You can be a fan and not play.
No, I know. It was just really funny because Jacob and I were on the ice, and we're like, okay, like we're not great skaters, but we're in like the top percentage of the people here. Like it was a lot of, there weren't a lot of great skaters out there, and I'm like, oh, you see this guy in the Wild jersey? I bet he knows how to skate. Like,
no, remember I told you, I'm like, he either's gonna be really good or have never skated before in his life. It was the latter.
Yeah, most likely never. But he did pretty well. I kind of watched him because he was like 6'6". It was hard to miss him.
Gangly dude.
And long blonde hair. It was hard to miss him. But
the Minnesota guy, that seems like it fits the bill.
Yeah, he definitely had like a hockey look to it, but did not
have the skills.
No, or he was just hustling all of us.
Yeah.
And the girl he was with.
Yeah, he's like, you want a race? I'll put $5 on it, and he fucking smokes you.
You know how like usually when there's a couple ice skating, generally, I'm not saying all the time, but it's like the guy's kind of teaching the girl how to ice skate, and so like the guy will like skate backwards, like holding her hands and like
it'll be all cute,
whatever. It was the opposite. It was really funny because this guy was much taller and bigger than her, and she's like showing him up and being like, "Come on, just skate."
Dude, I feel like if I ever went ice skating with like a girl as like a first date, I would just be like, "Screw this! You aren't skating fast enough. I gotta go," and just take off.
I can see, Dayton would be like, "I know I'm supposed to like teach how to skate and like hold your hand." He's like, "I don't have that in me, alright? I just gotta fucking go the speed I'm gonna go, either keep up or leave, alright? I don't got time for slow
You do
chicks."
that classic sneak up behind them and scare them as you're like zooming past and get way too close.
Throw some ice on their legs.
when I was 8 or 9, there's a roller rink in Owasso that like every fucking elementary and middle school kid went to, and my parents brought me there, and they brought like their daughter, and I remember my dad being like, Gabe, you should skate with her. She needs to learn, or is rollerblade. She's like, she needs to know how to rollerblade. I'm like, okay. And I just started laughing her. And my dad like pulled me aside a second time. He was like, no, like, go with her. And I was like, oh, okay. And she was so slow. I did one lap, and I was like, fuck this. Just like, kept going. I don't know why I remember that, but that was forever ago.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do.
Sink or swim, bitch.
Just watch me. I know how to do it. Just
Yeah.
fly.
I want to go back to the place we went, Joseph, when they have their outdoor rink open, because they had an indoor and an outdoor. But when we were there, they had a speed skating tournament on the outdoor one. And I want to go back and actually do the outdoor. 'Cause it's
It was a
fucking huge.
massive outdoor. It was like a speed skating rink. Like
Yeah.
Like it was built for the racing.
yeah,
part
like
of
it was way bigger than a hockey rink. It was probably like 2.5 the length, I think.
Damn.
It looked like a football field.
Yeah, it was
like a
fucking
quarter-mile
massive.
track or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really big.
That's
I don't
cool.
know if I would assume I don't know if they'd open the whole thing because it looked like it wasn't all ice. Like around the turns, there was like
Yeah.
the inside of the turns. There was like, I don't know. It didn't look like ice. I don't know
Yeah,
if
they
it was.
probably had a waiting area for people who weren't, actively going. But honestly, Joseph, it probably is just a football field with a track on it in the summer. I wasn't looking very closely, but they might just freeze over the entire thing.
Very well could be.
It's
I mean, there
possible.
weren't goalposts, but yeah.
That's a good point.
Hmm.
I don't know, it was cool.
But either way, it'd be really cool if they open up like even like everything but those outer turns, because even without those, it was still really big.
I would
Yeah,
love to
you know.
see a race between you and Jacob.
I
Me and
would
Joseph.
Or yeah, I don't know why I said.
Yeah, Joseph probably win.
Win. Yeah,
He's slightly better. than I am.
I'm
He's got
a
those
little
long
better
legs.
You just have that stride.
But can you stop?
That I definitely cannot.
I can't.
I can kind of stop.
I can't.
My
stop.
stopping is me like holding out my hands and trying to find a wall and just like run into it as softly as possible.
I can do a shitty half hockey stop. I can like get it with one foot and like kind of like pizza, like if you ski, you know, kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, in
but I
intramural
can't do a
hockey, I just
full-
went in circles until I slowed down. Hockey.
Nice.
All right,
Kinda
so
stop.
I gotta run something by you guys because I found out about this winter invention the other day. I gotta find out if I'm a pussy for using it. All right.
Oh my god.
I got it today, Joseph. By the way, do you see my car
Oh,
when you were
I
playing?
No,
feel
I
like I
didn't.
know Joseph's answer.
So I'm at work the other day, and I'm like talking about in Houghton we had to like brush our cars up every single day, because just there's so much snow.
Oh, it's every 2 hours
And,
currently, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And somebody's gotta like scrape the ice off and shit, and it's just annoying as hell. And the one woman goes like, "Well, do you ever hear of frost covers? What the fuck is that?"
I know
No,
what
it's
those
the
are.
thing you just like put on your windshield, and then you go the next morning, and then you take it off, and there's no frost in your car.
You're talking about the thing you put on the inside of the windshield? Like the
No, it's on the
No, it
outside.
goes up over top. It's always on the outside.
Oh.
It's like a cover for your windshield. I'm like, no, but that sounds fucking amazing. That would save me so much goddamn time in the winter. And so she got me one because they're like on sale at Costco. So I just put it on my car. And I'm like, does this make me a pussy? Like, I feel like at Houghton, if somebody had that, you'd be like, oh, you have less street cred because you're not scraping your car like the rest of us. But I'm at the point now, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. If it saves me time and energy and I can be out in the cold not as long, I'm doing it.
See,
Nah,
I feel like if
you wouldn't be a pussy at school because I know Lime Green had one.
Yeah, but
Wait, but that
Is he
inherently
is he
makes you a
shining
pussy.
example?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
it's
didn't want
just
to
someone
say
else.
it, but
I said
It's
it
just
there.
someone
I
else
said
who
it.
had it.
I said it.
Whenever you have like the wipers up, that's like okay, you're a youper. Like when you park your
broom?
car and you throw up your wipers so that they don't get frozen. That's the
Oh.
play.
I don't know, dude. People do that out here too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty common.
Yeah.
I never saw that in Minnesota.
I never really saw it downstate, to be honest.
Nah,
Really?
dude.
Yeah.
Next
All
next
over the
level,
place.
next level is having a snow broom instead of just having a brush.
Oh, those are so.
Dude,
nice.
I
having
gotta
a
get us some
broom.
That's what I
It's-
have.
Yeah.
It's
like
next level.
it's probably like a foot long of just like it's like a squeegee almost. Like it's a big plastic bit.
Yeah.
It's
and it-
wider than a foot. I
It's
think.
probably a foot and a half, but you can just like push the snow instead of like brush it, and it's just so much fucking faster. Especially when it's like fluffy snow.
Yeah, it
super
clears
nice.
it way faster.
Yeah.
Because like when I think if I'm at tech, right, you see somebody with wipers up, it's like, oh yeah, they're smart. Somebody with a snow broom, oh that's engineering right there, that's innovation. Frost cover, that's a cop out. You know, like I feel like it's cheating.
Well, how much time are you really saving taking it off? Like how much effort does it take to install it and take it off? Like,
Dude,
is it
I don't know.
pretty
I've
simple, or-
scraped
Oh,
off
it's not
some
that- it's not
thick
that hard to do.
ice. Dude, I've scraped
It
off
de-
some thick ice, and it's taken me like a few minutes before.
It
No, Gabe's
depends
asking
on those
how hard is
frost
it to
covers.
install the cover.
'Cause
It's
there's-
pretty easy.
Okay.
There's some that like hook inside and like it hooks to like your steering
Do they
wheel.
hook to like your mirrors or something? Or?
Yeah, mine hooks to the mirror. It's just like elastic that goes around your
Yeah.
mirrors. So it's like around this mirror, pulled across around the other mirror, and then there's one thing you have to open your door and you put it inside. It's like a security thing, so somebody can steal it.
Oh
See,
yeah,
that's
someone's really gonna steal that.
Dude, in Minneapolis, I wouldn't put it past somebody. You know.
See,
That's
I
sad.
don't know. To me, it just like wouldn't seem useful enough for me to buy it. I guess like the most ice I've ever had to do is like
fair.
when it rains and then snows, or like freezing rain.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen that often. When it does, it fucking sucks. But honestly, you can run your car and put the heat on, and then just brush your car off while it's warming up, and by the time you're done, it's not that hard.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. It's just like, but sometimes the ice is fucking.
Yeah,
freaking
yeah.
Just a pain in the ass.
I mean, I'm sure it's useful.
Even
It's just
also
not
just-
something I would spend money on. I don't know how much they cost, but I wouldn't.
It was like $15.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That's not too bad. But you're right. I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to buy one. But if it's on Amazon,
Let me
obviously,
put
I'll
it
give
this
a
way:
look.
I'd rather buy a snow broom than a shitty snow brush and a frost cover, like any day of the week.
Yeah, but the snow broom doesn't get ice off your car.
It has a scraper on the other
Not
end.
with that attitude.
Usually
Oh,
I scrape
yeah.
on the other end.
Yeah, but so do most snow brushes.
But usually, those snow broom ones are like, they're not like the Walmart brand where they're like $4 and you can feel they're hollow. Like they're made with metal and like they're actually like built well.
Yeah.
The scrapers are
They're
a lot
quality.
better. Yeah. Do you guys have an
Quality
inside scraper?
product.
I have one for my the inside of my cabin when it frosts on the
I-
inside.
I mean,
don't.
I have because I had a cheap snow brush that had like a shitty ice scraper on it, and
Mhm.
it broke off. So I just bought like a hand scraper, and I keep it in my driver door
Yeah,
pocket,
that's what I do.
so that I've always got it right there in case it does frost. But I haven't had it frost up in a while.
It only really happens when you have a lot of people in your car.
Hot boxing it.
Like I know when we did like snowboard trips to Bohemia, that it would always frost up then.
Oh, dude, my car would get so bad after broom ball.
Oh, that's
Because
another
everyone's
good one.
steamy, and no one kicks the snow off their boots
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
get in.
Yeah,
That's
or
the,
hockey.
That's
Hockey
the big
too
thing.
would get bad.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit like that. It's not that big of a deal when it's just you.
Are you sad you're missing Bruno this year, Gabe?
Yeah, are you guys?
Yeah.
It'll be the same season. Like it's not like
Yeah, but it's closer. But you're already there.
That's
you know.
true.
There's.
I was thinking about it.
like
Like the
you
week
could
I
sign
start
up.
work is the week of Winter Carnival, which is like it's a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna miss playing broom ball and just smacking those balls really hard.
Clapping them. The clapper.
Yeah.
Minneapolis has a whole club for Michigan Tech alumni and broomball.
Seriously.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
there's like a group of people. There's a Facebook page that has like over 100 members. I don't know
Holy
if they
shit.
use like an ice rink. I'm assuming they use their ice rink. Like it's not an actual court, but it's
I
still
would- I
cool
would
to see that
imagine-
people do it.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone set something up in like a backyard or something.
Oh, I'd totally
Yeah.
do that.
There's 2 pond hockey rinks in a park that I drive past every day.
Yeah.
But they're definitely too big for broom ball. Because I looked at them and it's like, that looks like broom ball. Like it's got the nets at like the same area and the same like shitty white boards. But I looked, it was way too big.
Nah. I mean, if I have time, I'd join it. That'd be pretty fun.
Just get on that. See if we can do that.
What do you mean me get on it? You're here too. You have more time than I do.
We'll see.
Then I'd have to probably buy a broom because I don't want to make another broom.
I still got mine. Take it off the mantle and start.
Mine broke the last fucking game. Well, it was Cooper's. That thing
Yeah.
fucking
yeah.
got obliterated.
God, there must be some old people who go to those. There's 100 people in that group.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
there's
how
some older
active
guys.
it really is. You know, like I just saw that it existed and saw a few posts,
Yeah.
but I'm sure some of them are like people who joined years ago or whatever and never post on it or something. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's still enough people to like make it fun. And Minneapolis is a pretty young city, so I can't imagine it being too old.
Yeah, and it's what 5-on-5, 6-on-6, including the goalies.
Yeah.
Like you only need 20 people.
Right.
Really, if
Yeah.
that. You don't even
Not
need
even,
20
yeah.
people.
You need like 16.
Yeah, to make it like fun.
Yeah, I'm
Or
sure
playable, I
I'm sure it's
guess.
actually pretty fun. It's probably a lot of like tech alumni who just wanted to keep doing it. And
The problem is like I'm not that good. Like I enjoy playing a lot, but I'm not that good. I just want to get bodied by some huge fucking dudes.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're still fresh out, so like we're not fast enough.
that means you're still in peak physical condition, right? You're
What's
ready.
the fucking name of the team that's like the legacy
Pirate
team?
sheep.
Yeah.
Pirate Sheep. What if they're like stationed in Minneapolis? We just didn't know it.
Fucking end me.
They
Never wanna play
clapped
against
our
them again.
asses so hard.
It's
God.
kind of fun though, cause we just started goofing around,
Yeah, they were going for like
by the end of it.
headbutt goals.
headers and shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fucking funny.
which is like fun, but also sad.
Dude, we got
'Cause, like,
one
it's
goal, and
against-
that's all that fucking mattered to me, that we scored on
Yeah.
once.
Yeah, dude, they were clowning us.
Yeah.
But they were like pretty happy that you got the goal. Like they were like
I know, they
congratulating
cheered
you
me
and
on
everything.
too. They're like, "Good job, man." I'm like, "Thanks. We're only down by 6
Very
now."
nice.
It's like when you cheer on a kindergartner for writing their name correctly.
Right. That's kind of how it felt. They were nice guys though. That's what I like so much about
Yeah.
broomball though, is like most of the teams just goof the fuck
Yeah.
around, and it's so fun.
Do you
'cause
remember that?
You're both playing a dumb fucking sport where you're like using a broom to push a ball on a sheet of ice. So like if you don't take it seriously, it's a lot of fun.
Gabe, I think you're the only one that played on our team freshman year, right? Jake, Dayton, you didn't play on our
I
team.
played on 2 different teams. Yeah.
Yeah, you're on a Thermopylae
So-
team.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was on
Oh
your,
yeah, you were.
yeah, I was on your team, George.
Gabe, do you remember that one team we played freshman year? It was like the Spurberry something.
Oh,
Spurberry
Spurberry
Police.
Yeah, they were just fucking assholes.
We played them
like,
second year too. They're the same
Mhm.
way. They took it
Yeah,
way too seriously.
It wasn't even that they took it seriously. They were just jerks. Like I feel like we take it seriously, but like they were just pissy.
Yeah.
Is what it was.
Mad 'cause bad.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It was just like I remember getting like cross-checked from behind.
Yeah.
Like
No,
at one point,
they
like
were very
for
aggressive.
people who don't know, that's when you take the broom and you hold it like across your chest and push the broom against someone. So they did that to my back. And, like, which is not
allowed.
legal for 2 reasons. You can't check from behind and you can't cross-check. Like that's 2 fouls. And so
I think
I
it
mean,
was.
like, I get
they were just
getting
fucking
pissy
assholes.
if you're like getting your ass kicked, but also it's like there's a point where you just try to have fun. And
Yeah.
as long as their team is being a dick about it, or they're scoring a
Or-
bunch, like, oh yeah, we fucking rule. Like
Right.
that's equally annoying.
I mean, we were dressed up in tropical shirts, listening to steel drum music, and the dead fucking winter. It's not like we were being that much of dicks. We were just fucking around.
Yeah, it's not, we don't take it that seriously.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I don't know, dude. I broke a lot of kids' brooms.
You're so proud of that.
How many? I know at least 2.
It was at least like 2 or 3, and like
Okay.
yeah, that's pretty good numbers, honestly.
You're gonna put that on your
This is
stats.
pretty solid. Like that would go
We
on a
got some-
baseball card.
We had some really close games that went down to the wire.
Yeah,
You know?
usually
Yeah.
you were subbed out for the.
Oh yeah, I was the first one to jump off the ice. I'm like, I'm not good enough to be in
It
here.
was you
Let's
and
get the
Landon.
good guys in. We can win. Okay, I was way better than Landon.
Oh,
We
yeah.
established.
Um,
Jacob, do you remember
I just
that
have
one
ears. I can
goal?
listen to people.
That one goal you got where you were like diving
Yeah,
and
dude.
you like just redirected it perfectly.
can't
I
believe
just
you
that
got
was
that
the,
one.
that was the peak. That was my physical peak of my entire life. That moment. You know,
'Cause
so
that
it was
was-
a buzzer beater straight away.
It
Somebody
was
passed
overtime,
me.
wasn't it?
I fell down backwards and just swung my right arm with my broom, and it hit the ball perfectly. Went right into the corner. We won.
Yeah, that was overtime.
Calculated,
Yeah.
calculated. Chat disabled
think it was-
for 3 seconds.
I think it was Spurberry
was-
where they. Okay, so winter, you're allowed to swear more or less, as long as you like kind of keep it to yourself. And aren't like being
You
a
don't
dick
drop
about
any
it.
F-bombs.
Right, and don't do F-bombs. But during Winter Carnival, a lot of families go by, so the rule is any swear words are like a penalty. And I remember we got like a corner ball, or we got possession of the ball that was like questionable. I think it was Spurberry, please. So someone threw down their broom and said, "That's fucking bullshit," like out loud. And he got,
yeah, I remember.
he got like
that.
5 minutes, which is a lot. I think like the halves are 10 minutes, right? He got a major.
Yeah, it was a major. No, they're
essentially.
15.
Yeah,
I think.
it's 15. So we got a
But yeah.
major off that shit, and they were already down by 2 goals, and they were just swearing, like getting themselves kicked out left and right. It's like, dude.
Who was that idiot we played during Winter Carnival? And I'm saying idiot based on what happens. Where he like was talking to the ref about the swearing rule. He's like, "Can I say this?" He's like, "No." "Can I say HE double hockey sticks?" "No." And then
Oh yeah.
immediately he scores and says like, "Hell yeah!" And then looks at the ref and he's like, "Fuck."
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he scored
It
on
was
us,
so
and
funny. He literally just asked if he could say that. And then he
I'm
immediately
pretty
said it.
sure he said "fuck yeah." I think he said "fuck yeah."
Did he say "fuck yeah"?
Yeah, because they
Whatever
were
it
down by
was.
like 2 or 3 goals. They weren't doing so hot.
He like, I just remember him locking eyes with the ref. And he's like, "It wasn't me."
Oh my god.
I have a vivid memory of freshman year. One of the guys was on our team. He only played with us freshman year, but he did like if you can imagine chopping wood with an axe like over his head at the ball,
High
which is
sticks at the
very
waist, by the
illegal.
way. High sticks at the
Yeah,
waist.
Yeah, so he just over his head just swings at the ball and then immediately yells "fuck" during Winter Carnival. And the ref was like, just get out. Like, you can't. There's a lot of things wrong with what just happened." It was so fucking funny.
Oh my god. Yeah,
God, I
people do not listen to the rules of that game during Winter Carnival.
Well,
It's the one rule.
They're like you're held to different standards during that. So like you play the entire season, and then it's
One
just
way.
like, oh, here's 4 days where you have different rules.
Right.
So
I mean, it makes sense, and they're
Well,
I
you
mean,
can't
even
say
during
fuck
the regular
regardless
season-
during games. I'm pretty sure that's like the one
Yeah.
you can't say.
I don't know, dude. I remember saying fuck plenty of times, but
you can't say it around the ref.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Depending
that's
on
the
I
thing.
mean, I'll say it to my teammates, just like fuck that guy, but
fuck
And
Gabe
I
for
think
landing
they
that
really-
easy shot.
Oof. I played offense. It's not even my fault.
Fuck
Fuck
Gabe,
Gabe
for not
for-
passing again and then missing his solo shot.
I never do that. You're getting the stare from all 3 of you. What can I say? Nothing.
Yeah, what can you say? What can
Nothing.
you say, Gabe? You got jack shit.
Blame it
Hey.
on Jimmy Johns.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I have a topic for tonight that I've been thinking about for a little bit.
Wait,
It's percolating in the
is
back
this the
of my
first
mind.
topic or the second topic?
Who cares?
Well,
This is the main
first
topic.
was the
main
the
topic.
snow cover.
33 minutes into the podcast, we're hitting the main
So
topic.
let's get to
boys.
brass tacks, all
That's
right?
pretty normal. We usually have the back half of the show as a topic. So, as I've mentioned, I'm working at this place. I'm interning at this place right now. You know, it's like a consulting firm that helps companies get health insurance. Not important to the story. What I'm getting at is the people who work there, mostly my boss, is very like well off. She's made done well for herself. She's like started her own company, and you know the healthcare business is very profitable. Not knocking her for that at all. Like obviously, good job. And I was just thinking about like, how much money do I want in my life? There's been a lot of talk recently too in politics, like should billionaires exist? I'm kind of putting that in also. But it's just like, I don't need like a mansion with like a TV in every room and like all this bullshit. You know, like I don't want to be excessive with my wealth if I ever get to that height, which I'm not saying I will. What I want to ask you guys is like, how much money do you want? Not necessarily how much do you need, but how much do you want?
Well, I'm pretty sure
I have.
there's a.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
I've got an answer right off the top of my head that I've thought about this before, and disregarding environmental impacts, I want to be wealthy enough to have a brand new pair of socks every day. that's the level of wealth I want. A fresh pair
They
of
do
socks.
feel good.
The brand new pair of socks is like the best feeling ever.
That's so. I know you said
I've
disregard
thought
environmental
about this.
impact, but that is
But
fucking wasteful.
It
as
is
shit.
wasteful, but like disregarding that, like if it, however, for whatever reason, it wasn't impacting the environment or it didn't matter, whatever.
Biodegradable socks.
Yeah, like that is the level of wealth I want. Is
Because like
brand
that's
new
not
pair
even,
of socks.
Are
every
they
day.
like nice socks or just like your run of the mill like Target
Like
socks?
Hanes. Like
no,
shitty
like
Hanes.
decent socks. You know, like
I'm trying
I
to figure
don't
how
know.
much money this is gonna cost you per paycheck.
I don't know.
Well, if they're nicer
I
socks,
would-
they come in packs of like 2 or 3 probably.
Or even like Stance brand is like single pairs of socks.
Yeah, I mean, I buy my socks single pairs.
Yeah, and it's like $15 a pair.
But also, if you're using them once, they can't. You don't them be super nice.
But that's
Then
the thing. It's like
that
I
is a
don't want
huge
to.
waste.
I don't want shitty socks. Like I want like decent socks. I'm like,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go all in, right?
But you're not gonna get like heavy duty wool socks. You're only gonna use once. You know what I'm saying?
I might if it's winter.
It's so wasteful.
But that's my point. Is like disregarding waste. Like,
Yeah.
I want a brand new pair of socks every
He's
day.
very
And
adamant about this.
that
You could
is-
probably get bulk
surprising.
discounts.
Yeah, that is true.
You could probably get
So-
it lowered down to like, I don't know, $7-8 a pair.
Yeah, if I buy them in like years supply or whatever at a time.
Yeah.
So if you
50
do
bucks a pair.
100,
That's
so
300,
it's
56
$210
I was thinking a
a
week.
month if you're doing $7, right?
210.
A month.
That's doable.
But like, what's the plan? Do you use them, wash them, donate them? Like,
I don't care.
that's what the maid's for. The maid deal with all these fucking socks.
You asked me how wealthy I want to be.
All right.
That is how wealthy I want to be, is to be able
You
to
could be
wear-
living in a box, but as long as you get your first pair of socks every day, who cares?
Hey,
It's
what
a
a great way
cardboard
to
box
start the
and
day.
then a bunch of socks.
Hey, it's a great way to start a day. All right, put it on a brand spanking
And
new
then
pair
get
of
in the
socks.
shower.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta wash them before you wear them, idiot.
Another new pair of socks.
that made
So-
me physically cringe.
I listened to a podcast that kind of discusses this, Jacob, and it's not Engineers Without Filters. I listen to other podcasts. It's
Oh,
Really?
right.
You're so unique.
I know I'm quirky. It's this episode on like they did this episode on how people value money and like where they like how their money affects their happiness, and I think this study is pretty widely known, but it's like the idea is if you make around $70,000, no amount more of money is going to make you happier, because around that value you have enough to live and enough to be able to afford some fun things, right? So like $70,000 is the peak. But in this episode, they go and like talk to people who are like very well off and ask them, you know, are they happy with how much they make? And every fucking time they're like, I'd be a little bit happier if I made X much more or X much more. Like it's just
Yeah.
like if I had $2 billion instead of one. Like they're like
Yeah, dude,
looking. for
that's
that next-
lifestyle creep.
Right.
It's like if you make more money, you're gonna be like, oh, I can afford to get a little bit nicer things, and it's just like, oh, I make 10% more this year, I can spend 10% more. So
Right.
don't know.
And it's just really interesting to see how that like affects your happiness, because like you think, okay, you know, if you make $200,000 or $100,000, you can do a lot more, but like at a psychological level, it doesn't do anything for you, which I find very interesting. Because like when you think about that figure, like you think of having $200,000 a year, you're like, wow, I can do a lot with this, right? Not that you can't with 100,000, but
also, it's like, what would I do with it?
right.
You
And
know,
then
it's
it
like, I don't
becomes
even know
that
what I
point
would
where it's
do.
like, then you're just starting to spend it on like
Buying a lot of socks.
exactly, exactly. I just find
I don't
that
know.
very
Wait.
fascinating because like, I don't know.
No, I've heard that before too. I've heard, yeah, like the rich always want more money. Like once you get to a certain level, you're always craving more, no matter what.
Well, yeah, and it's just like, I don't think our system of like capitalism is meant for there to be a cap, right? It's not like, oh, you
No,
make
there's not.
$150,000, you've made it. Like, you're rich now.
If you can
That's
exploit
just-
the market to make that much money, then go ahead and do it. Like,
Right.
there's no rules against
And that's where you see like billionaires doing tax evasion because they want that little extra money that they'll never be able to spend because it's just they're constantly trying to see that number go up. I don't know.
Dayton, you're a minimalist.
Yeah. Honestly, like being rich honestly kind of goes against my values. Like, I don't value being rich. I value having enough to be able to just like do what I deem valuable, which is like it's like a backwards definition. It's like using the same word to define the word basically. But
What if your hobby was like, I don't know, yacht collection?
see personally I think that's bullshit. So
I know,
incredibly
but I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Some
here, like,
people collect stamps.
what if your hobby
Some
is
people
extremely
collect
expensive?
yachts.
You know?
yeah, but I mean, like, I probably wouldn't start doing that hobby anyway.
Until
Sort
you
of
had
deal.
money.
Like, how do you even get into that yacht collection? You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
Like,
I don't know.
Well, it starts with one yacht.
It's like
Alright.
one yacht, but you have to be.
That's where they
if you can
get
buy
ya.
one yacht, then
It's
you're
that
probably
first
rich enough to buy
yacht.
2 yachts.
You get a
Like,
discount yacht and like, ooh.
Yeah.
And then your eyes open up to the world of yachts and like, whew, you got to get that collector edition and man, downhill from there,
Well, yeah, like I'm right there with you, Dayton. Like,
downstream.
because I didn't go to college so I could make more money. I went to college so I could figure out what I want to do and then do the job I want to do. I don't really care about being rich at all.
Oh, I did it for a
Which is-
standard of living. To a degree.
Well, yeah, and it's just like it's funny because when I talked to my boss about this before, she's like, "Look, like, get a good job and get some stock options and make your money, and then you can do what you want. But like, get your
Mhm.
money figured out first." And I'm like, I don't really care about that though. Like, I don't care about being rich.
I
you know? Like,
just
I
value
wanna
having
survive.
security though. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to have
So-
security.
at least for me, like, I'm putting away like quite a bit of money towards retirement already because like I don't want to have to like work my entire life. I want to be able to retire at like a reasonable age or even like younger than a reasonable age if I can, so that I can focus more on my time. And like, I just don't understand the mindset of people that are like in like the work attitude to like keep on like grinding for like more money, more like a better title, everything like that. When like if I'm happy what I'm doing right now and I'm still able to like grow my hobbies in such a way that like I'm continually like happy with them, then I don't see what the need for change is. It's like having, like, I agree with Gabe, like having like $70,000 versus like the $70 million. I don't think that my hobbies would change at all because I mean,
I'd
don't-
take the 70 million, but
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that I wouldn't take the 70 million, but what I'm saying is that I don't think, based on my values and what I like think is important in life, I don't think what I would be doing right now is any different than what I would be doing with $70 million.
right.
So
That makes sense.
I think I'd agree with
I
that.
think that-
Hopefully, anyway.
I don't know. I find it really interesting because, like, obviously, I have a decent amount of student loans because I've been in school for a while, and I've just kind of been thinking about it, and it's like, it's kind of where they get you with the whole debt thing. Is like they force you to work because if you don't, you're fucked, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the way it is with a lot of other things like rent and getting a car and like all sorts of house payments, anything like that. Like, it just encourages you to keep working, which is kind of shitty. Like, it'd be cool if the system, I mean, you can obviously like change your lifestyle to accommodate this, but if your lifestyle was to be able to like have little to no debt, and if you wanted to take a month or two off in your life, you could just, you know, stop working at your job and find another one in a month or two and just go and do your own thing for a bit, you know. But it's just not how the system is made. Like, you gotta pay something off for 10, 15 years. Like, you can't take breaks.
Well, I mean, you hit on that. Like, it's a choice. Like,
Yeah.
if you're okay with like either living in one place for the rest of your life, and buying some property and buying a house, and like buying a house that's like below your means, so then you can pay it off early and own it quickly, and buying like used cars that are like, I don't know, like 5 years old or whatever, so then you don't have that big of a car debt, so you can pay it off sooner. Like I would say it's very attainable for the average person if you're willing to make sacrifices and like what you have, and like you're not trying to like keep up with the Joneses, so to speak.
Right.
Which like that completely goes against my values as well. Like keeping up with the Joneses is just like, do your own fucking thing. I don't like, if you want to keep up with the Joneses, cool, but I'm not trying to do that. So.
I feel like a lot of people can have perceived value just on the things they own, though, right? Like you could have a fucking Audi, right, and you're paying on it, and it could be a $500 payment, it may look outside like, ooh, he's got a lot of money, but like that may be a loan at like, I don't know, 10%, and then you're paying it off for 15 years, or not 15, car loans don't go out that far, but you know what I mean, like 7 years
like
or something
six
like that.
years,
like that's not, to me, that's not wealth, but like to everyone else, like just looking at it at a surface level, it's like, ooh, that person, has some
and
form of money.
I would rather have someone look at me and be like, oh dude, they're poor or whatever, because if they're judging me based on that, I don't want to be around them.
Right.
Like, get them the hell out of my life. It's like, yeah, you know what, I drive an old beater car, I don't give a shit. Like, that's just,
I think people overextend just
I
to
wouldn't
impress
call
other
your
people.
car a beater.
I'm saying hypothetically in the future, like if I get like a new car or whatever, or a quote unquote new car.
Stays with the same car he has now for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta. I'm not that your car's like super nice, but it's not a beater.
No. I
call it a
wasn't
beater.
saying like my car now
At
is
least
a beater.
Now that you've got the stereo fixed, when the stereo didn't work, it was
And
pretty close to
and I
a
just
beater.
had the hole in the hole where it used to be.
You got a little speaker
That was
in
some
there.
pretty janky shit you had there.
But it's currently missing one of the aftermarket exhaust tips that the previous owner put on it. It's been that way for like a year and a half.
So it's been there for a while.
Yeah.
No, actually,
like,
it's only been like a year. But yeah, nonetheless, it's still like that.
yeah, I just think that you can have perceived richness. That's a word, right? Perceived,
Wealth.
yeah, perceived wealth. That's a way better word. Thank you, Joseph. You can have perceived wealth, but it doesn't mean you actually are, right? And to me, that's like, oh, it's just kind of fake. You can have a really nice house, but if you can barely afford it, like, what's the fucking point? I'd much rather have a house where I feel comfortable being able to pay off in a reasonable amount of time, and like I don't have to worry and like force myself to work harder and harder to like get that promotion so I can pay it off, and actually afford it. Like, no.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the comfort.
Or
Is this a sock thing?
buy a new pair of socks every day, and you're in comfort, but no one else really knows, because like you can't really tell if someone's got new socks. You can tell if they
Joseph,
got
you would be the
really
type
old
of guy to
socks.
tell everybody that you got a new pair of socks every day.
Yeah, you would.
You'd be like,
No,
you'd tweet it too.
I wouldn't tweet
Like,
it.
hey, how's it going? I got new socks on.
I would talk about it
day.
with people I'm comfortable with. I'd be like, yeah, I'm on this new sock everyday lifestyle.
New sock
and
diet.
This new sock diet.
I guess you can say I've made it in life. I get new socks
My-
every day.
My feet are cozy. Hey, if someone told me that they wear a brand new pair of socks every day, I would think they made it in life. Like,
I would dislike that person immediately.
Yeah,
'cause
I would
the
scoff
waste,
at them.
the sheer
Yeah,
waste.
no,
Like,
Joseph's
get the
it's a
Tinder
fuck out of my
profile's
life.
bio says, I spend $210 on socks every month.
all I'm saying is my feet. I'm on my feet all the time, right? And I want them to be comfy.
You're
Get
sitting
some
right now.
nice socks. Don't get new socks every goddamn day.
But I can get new. But like, the feeling of new socks is such
That
a
lasts
great
at
feeling.
least 10 washes. I feel.
No.
I don't know what
New
kind of socks you're
are-
buying. I get them for like 2 or 3. Not 10.
I
Like,
mean, maybe 10 was
they-
excessive, but I'm saying they last more than one wash.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that. You're asking how wealthy I want to be, and that's like top tier. I'm not saying it's attainable. I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm not saying that that's something that I'm going to do. But if I had the choice, if I had that option, I would take brand new pair of socks every
Joseph,
day.
You could literally do that now if you moved into a place that wasn't as expensive.
Yeah, I honestly I could do that even in this place. I could. It doesn't mean I want to. Doesn't mean it's a good idea.
So you're
Because
saying you want to be wealthy
wasteful.
enough where you want to buy new socks every day.
Okay, why don't you do
I'm
socks
saying
every
I don't
other
live-
day? Why don't you do new socks? That halves your cost.
Here's the thing: the simulation
not
we
good enough.
live in, doesn't allow for this because there's too much waste. All right.
That's true.
If I didn't have to deal with waste, I would, hands down,
You could
go
wash
with
and
a new
donate
pair of
them.
socks every day.
I think you're undercutting the advances in sock technology that'll happen in the next 20 years.
I
feel
think
like
you're
they're just gonna keep getting
undercutting
better and
a
better.
brand new pair of sock, non-washed feeling. Because the fabric softener that you put in, or like your detergent, it changes it. It's not the
Okay.
same.
So
And I'm
Joseph,
not saying it's bad after the first wash. I'm just saying there's that peak, and it
Alright.
just goes downhill from
Alright,
that peak.
Joseph,
And I
Joseph,
just
I've
want,
got-
I want to live on that high.
I've got an idea for you. All right. So you get together with, I don't know, say a group of anywhere between 1 and 7 other like-minded individuals, much like yourself. Okay.
Oh no.
I'm not
And-
wearing other people's sweaty socks.
Hey, you didn't specify that they had to be brand new in
I
general.
did. I said
You-
brand
He said new.
spanking
Brand
to
spanking
him,
new
I
to
think that's what he
you.
said.
brand spanking new to you. So you just get these people to ship their socks that they wear. You know what?
We just
Who knows?
trade socks.
Dude, they might be like fucking ultra marathon runners that sweat like fucking 2 liters of sweat through their feet a day.
2 liters. Oh my god.
And
so
but
much.
you also
Holy
might
shit,
get the
that's a
person.
lot.
You also might get the person that just puts their socks on for a little bit and just chills, doesn't sweat at all. But you get to use that new pair of socks. Every pair is brand new to you, Joseph. And I don't
I'm
know,
not
it
biting.
cuts your waste by
See-
7, cuts your cost by 7. I think it's the way to go.
Dane, I like your gusto, but I think you really missed the central nut of this argument, where Joseph isn't getting high off of the fact the socks are new. He's getting high of the fact of how these new socks feel because they are new.
Dude,
They're brand
Yes.
spanking
Dude,
new.
why
It's
would
the
they
comfort
feel
of brand spanking new socks?
Because they've already got that foot sweat from someone else. Whether
they're
you
dried
are
out.
Sweaty,
They're dried out.
That's even worse.
They leave him out in the
crusty.
sun for 12 hours.
They're
I
even
would
washed, they
rather
just, like,
take
hung
them
to dry.
straight off a hobo if they were brand new and straight onto my feet,
Uh-huh.
than have them dry out and get crusty. No. Brand spanking new, out of the package. I'm pulling the tags off every day. That's how new I want.
All
You're going
right.
to pull the tags off every single day. That's the next
Yeah.
step.
These are I don't think you guys understand how nice new socks are. Like,
Do you want
Alright.
to know what my
when
socks
was
are?
the
that
last
I-
time
Joseph,
you put
let's
on a
do
new
the
All right,
naps
here.
mask.
I'll show you what my socks look like right now.
I know exactly what socks you're wearing. I knew it was a pair of Fitz socks.
And
Because
they're
that's-
Can you describe the bottom of your foot for the listeners?
they're worn
There's
out
no
on
heel?
my heels, on the back side of my heels, on the balls of my toe, on the sides of my feet.
There's a hole in it.
They're worn out. They're well loved, and unlike Joseph, I'm trying to be the anti-Joseph.
He's saving the
And-
environment. Where Joseph
Oh,
just
hold
wants to
on.
kill
Buying
it.
new socks
I am
ever
saying
again.
if it was feasible with waste, because that's
Just
a
buy
big part of it, is
biodegradable
like that-
socks. That's got to be a thing, right?
Yeah, except then they
They're
won't.
not
They
gonna be
won't.
as nice.
They won't be nice because they won't like conform to your foot because they won't have any elastic in them.
They're made out of old milk jugs.
That's not biodegradable.
All right,
My
before
point
we-
being,
I
it's
gotta
not
get this.
fea-
Joseph,
I
I'm cutting
understand
you
it's
off.
not feasible, but if it were,
Half this episode's
that
been
would be
about
my level
socks.
of hey,
Cutting you off, so I gotta ask one more question.
I'm
before we go.
passionate.
If you guys got very wealthy, would you be very charitable?
No.
With my socks, yes.
I
To
feel
be
like
honest, I probably wouldn't. Like, just being
Really?
straight up, I don't think so, just because that's not how I was ever, like, not taught. It's just nothing that was never,
But
like...
what would you do with the money? Okay.
Okay,
you
how
have
much
more
money do I
you know
have?
what to do with?
Like,
You
can
have
I-
a-
you
you
make
have
$1 million
enough-
a year. Let's say you make $1 million a year.
yeah.
See, I don't even have a context for that.
I don't either. Like, I don't have.
Well,
band-
The
you
thing
know how
is,
much you're making
immediate-
right now, Joseph.
Yeah, but it's been 6 months. Like, it hasn't. I don't. It hasn't really set in. I still think I'm going to school in a couple weeks. Like,
Hold on, let me calculate how many per paycheck. that
Okay,
is.
I'm just. If I had
Let's
$1
say you're
million
on a-
and all my expenses are paid off, I had no debts. Yeah, I would. I thought you
I
were
would
talking if I like. I
definitely-
don't know. I guess it's a bearing on what the dollar value is.
Okay, if you get paid every 2 weeks, you're making 38.5 grand a paycheck.
yeah, I would donate.
Okay, yeah.
See, I think I'm not sure if I would. See, my problem with like donation funds is you don't see the impact that your money has, and I like to see the direct impact that it has. Like if I'm donating money, I would much rather like sponsor like a family in need or something that I don't want to like.
But that's still a donation.
It is, but I
It
feel
is
like
different,
it's
though.
not like your stereotypical donation. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna donate, $150,000 to the Red Cross or something like that.
For me,
I would-
it
but
would
a
be
donation.
for-
You can still like buy food and donate it to like a soup kitchen or whatever. That's still a donation.
Yeah,
With
I know,
your
but
money.
what I'm saying is like,
And that's a direct impact. I wouldn't say that's any less.
Well, it's the thing is like you hope, like for example, like so actually on Patriot Act, the Netflix show, they actually did just an episode about millionaires and billionaires being charitable, and if that works or not. A lot of time it doesn't. Like for example, Zuckerberg like donated a shit ton of money to like this school system. I don't remember where it was, and there interviewed people like a year after, and it's like, yeah, that didn't really do a whole lot. Like the money just kind of dissipated into different areas, but the overall impact was pretty minimal.
mhm.
See, I
So
feel like
you got to be really careful.
I'd
about
be
that.
like Dayton, and if I were to do it, like let's say, like a school system needed computers, I would buy the computers and send them to them like directly. Like they would have
Yeah,
those
you don't
to
like.
set up.
Yeah, don't give them money to buy
Because-
computers. Buy them yourself. and
Right,
give 'em the
because then
computers.
they're like, ooh, we could shift this around and do this. Like if this is what you need, and I had the money to do it, and it was like something I cared about, and because I feel like my donations would be more community based than like nationality or like international or national.
Mhm.
They would be like,
Are they about to go into a racism bit?
oh, no.
I only donate to white people.
No. I would donate directly with the item and or service they needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably set up like a grant or scholarship at that point.
Yeah, I
Do
mean, you could do
know.
that too. But I mean, I would like to be able, like Dayton, I would like to be able to see the impact. Like like to be able to see the kid who like got it, or like be able to see the.
That's selfish.
Well, all
I'm just
donations at some degree are kind of.
If I can't see who it helped, it doesn't count.
I did not
Also,
say
I
that
don't
it
want
doesn't
money going
count.
to waste.
I would just
you
like
know?
to be able to know that the money's going in the right place and not being wasted.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like
That's why I
the
don't like give money to homeless people because like I don't know if they use it for drugs or for food. I'd rather just buy them the food and give them the food.
Exactly.
the Susan G. Komen. I think is that the breast
sounds
cancer
right.
one. That one
Yeah.
like hardly any of the money that gets donated to that charity, like actually goes to research against breast cancer. Like so much of it just goes into like the
Like
pockets
the
of like
corporation. Yeah.
or it's not a corporation, but like the president, like the VP and shit like that.
Yeah.
So like
Fuck
that's
that.
what I want to avoid because like that's just people preying on other people's charity. Where I'd rather just cut out that middleman entirely, and
And
just
one of the things I talked about in the episode was like there's these certain types of funds. I forget what they're called, but it's like a fund that basically says this money will eventually go to charity, but it doesn't have to go to it right now. It could stay in the fund for like 7 years or something. The thing is, the money isn't taxed, so people can just dump money into those funds. It's not taxed, and then they can use it to manipulate their taxes on their regular, income and stuff. I don't remember how it all works, but because that stuff's tax free, it makes their numbers look better, and then
Mhm.
that money will eventually get donated. But again, how much is that money actually doing?
See, I feel
They're
like
also using it as a tax write-off.
yeah, I feel like billionaires also use that as an excuse for tax write-offs instead of actually like wanting to do the right
Yeah.
thing. That's kind of a shitty thing to do. It's like instead of paying the taxes, like I could spend a little bit less on this. Like they're not actually looking out for
Yeah,
like the
like I forget.
benefit of
You should
people.
watch the episode because I don't remember all the details. Basically, you can basically make more money if you give some of it away.
Exactly. It's so dumb.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I've said before on the podcast, where I want to be wealthy enough where I'm comfortable being more charitable. Like, if there's like an extra like stream and it's like we need money for this, like yeah, I'll give you, $50 or $100 or
Yeah.
1,000, something like that.
See, I
Where it's
think
like, if people need money, I could just give it to them.
I think that that's a dangerous game though, because you have people who can't afford it because they have their own personal struggles, but still donate, and then that puts them in a tougher position. Like you need to be able to know you're financially well off.
That's what I'm saying. I want to be hopefully comfortable enough where I can just not worry about it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
And just
yeah.
donate freely.
Yeah, like I know there was one guy that I had an internship with. He's a member of a church, and I think part of the usual is 20% of your salary goes to the church, essentially.
Yeah, the tithe.
20?
It's 20%.
Usually it's 10.
No, his church was 20%. It was his tithe was 20%.
It's usually 10.
But
It's
he would
usually
also
10.
complain about not being
10's
able
already a
to
scam.
not be able to pay for his kids' schooling, but the schooling was through the church, so he was giving them 10% of the salary, but he wasn't able to bring his kids through the schools. Like he had to pay separate on top of that. And to me, that's just like, just give them the
That
money
sounds like
for
a
the
scam.
school, like,
That sounds like some preachers wearing sneakers shit.
yeah. I don't know. It's just like things like that, where it's like if you're putting yourself in a financially shitty situation, just for you to benefit whatever. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Then
you
you're
gotta be
putting yourself in a harder
aware of
position.
that
You
stuff.
have to have other people support you, right? Like you need to be able to
Mhm.
sustain yourself first before you. It's like when you're in a plane. Put the oxygen mask on first before you help others.
Mhm.
My biggest thing is I just do not want anybody to like one day walk into my house and think, oh, that's a little wasteful. Like that's a little much. You know what I mean?
Someone's
Like,
gonna
I just
judge
want
you
to be.
regardless.
I know,
I
Someone
it's-
probably
it's
says
much
it
like
about your
mitigate
computer
that.
right now
Yeah.
because someone can use an iPad to
You
check
just
Facebook.
bought a VR headset.
Yeah,
That's
but
a
I
little
traded in
wasteful.
all of my other shit to get it. Like I ended up
Yeah.
spending $50
Is
on it.
this
It's not
is
that
this the
much.
beginning
Yeah,
of?
but if someone walks into your house, they wouldn't know it.
But is this?
Yeah, but
hang
I'm
on a
saying
second,
I'm talking about like
guys.
you have 7 TVs, like that kind of shit.
Oh.
Guys, I think this might be the beginning of Jacob's minimalism journey.
I mean, I've never been against minimalism. I also like to have the things that I have.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah?
problem is like when I grew up, my dad always kept everything, so I was trying to like get rid of that like training in my mind,
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm all for minimalism.
Yeah, dude. It's good shit.
I need all the things.
Good job.
Specifically socks.
Yeah.
Yeah, specifically
And
socks,
3
all right?
pillows.
Hey, I've got a system, all right? It works.
I like the
You
2
don't
pillow
need to judge
system.
me.
I have
And
one
I'll-
pillow.
Whatever, I'll take the shade for it, but I like 2 pillows.
I'm a 2-pillow guy.
3 pillows for the win.
One pillow. This is like golf. I win.
And that's the show. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Engineers Without Filters podcast. Don't forget you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at EWF Podcast. And you can find new episodes every Monday on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.